are listening to Veterans Action Report on KGRA Digital Broadcasting. I'm your host, Nick, coming to you live from St. Paul, Minnesota.
And I'm Andrew Canales, coming to you live from Evergreen, Colorado.
Every day, veterans are struggling with many issues spanning from homelessness to mental health crisis, often leading to 22 veterans a day taking their own lives. There are veterans all around the U.S. leading the fight to help guide our brothers and sisters to a better life. We will bring you stories from all around the country telling tales of veteran struggles and triumph. Every episode benefits veteran-run nonprofits Warriors Next Adventure, helping veterans fight PTSD through recreational therapy and new adventures. And Houses for Warriors, helping solve the homeless crisis, leading veterans to a better lifestyle. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 15 of Veterans Action Report. How's everyone going? Again, just want to let everybody know that every single episode benefits Warriors Next Adventure. It's a nonprofit that I started back in 2019. We have a 24/7 suicide hotline, and we also help vets kind of find their purpose. We have many different ways of doing that, a bunch of different programs. We haven't really dug into it too much, so I'll go over it for a minute. We have the first program that we ended up starting with the mountain climbing division. So we've climbed in Adirondacks over in New York. We've climbed in the Rockies and up here in Minnesota. That one's only like 2,200 feet, so it's not really much, but it's still a fun hike. And then eventually we teamed up with Minnesota Wolf Dogs. You can go check them out on Facebook. And we met up with them, and they have a bunch of hybrid wolves. They're wolves mixed with like shepherd, husky, malamute, stuff like that. So absolutely beautiful. I love going out there. And we build dog houses, we build cages. I was even lucky enough to get to go rescue a wolf. Me and Timber, me and him are like best friends. You go over to our TikTok, Warriors Next Adventure, you can see some of the videos that we've made on there. We get a couple on YouTube and Facebook as well. And then we eventually expanded again and brought in jiu-jitsu because I've been training jiu-jitsu for 14 years, so why not? And we teamed up with We Defy Foundation, and what we do with them is I'm one of their ambassadors. I actually work for We Defy in a couple different ways. And we teamed up together. So anytime we're using some sort of jiu-jitsu, we always try to invite or involve We Defy Foundation in some form. They sponsor the PTSD versus Jiu-Jitsu tour, which is amazing. Those guys are a big help. And we also have the race cars, right? So right now we're building a street stock race car. They're all dirt track race cars. We have a Hornet, we have a street stock, we have a pure stock or a hobby stock. Sorry, Jake. And then we also have a sprint car. The veterans will be rotating out, and they will be racing the Hornet because if they crash a Saturn Ion, it doesn't matter. We can fix it. So we're doing our best to try to get about 15 veterans racing this year. We're sponsored by Rip It Energy, which Rip It's are awesome. Everybody loves the nostalgia that Rip It has. Plus, I still think they're pretty good. So we also have the street stock. What we're planning on doing is that thing's we still have to fix the whole front end, rear end. We got the engine taken apart. I got my friend Steve actually got us a huge deal. He found somebody to redo our heads and the block for $70 a piece, which is fantastic. So we're doing our best there. If you guys want to get involved in any of this stuff, if you go to warriorsnextadventure.com, you can go down and click on the programs tab and then scroll down to any one of the programs you want to look at, and you can figure out how you can get more involved. If anything, send the email to warriorsnextadventure@gmail.com. Also, we have House for Warriors. He just sent me an invite, and I'm going to read this to you guys if I can pull it up quick. He is having an ambassador night, and they're going to be meeting up with a bunch of folks. And let me bring it up here. Of course, when I'm getting ready to talk about it, I can't find it. So they're meeting up soon. Go check out Houses for Warriors on their Facebook, and you should be able to access all the information on there. You can check out Colorado Veterans or WNA Colorado. It's our Colorado division for vets. We go hiking. We meet up with everybody. Houses for Warriors, he posts in there often. He's a Warriors Next Adventure ambassador as well. Again, they're working on a project right now. They just got donated like $60,000 to install an elevator in this guy's house. He has injured legs and he can't walk. His wife's been carrying him up the stairs to get to the second floor, which is just absolutely insane. So Homes for Veterans teamed up with Houses for Warriors, and those guys are doing that build out. So go check out Houses for Warriors, and check out Homes for Veterans as well. Those guys are helping fund some of the projects. So All right. So for my guest, I'm going to be bringing on Tommy here. Tommy is one of the 3 guys that I am rowing across the ocean with. We got 4 guys total. We'll be the first Air Force team to row on the Talisker Whiskey Atlantic Challenge. If you guys don't know what that is, go check it out. It's amazing. It's a 3,000-mile race from La Gomera in Spain to Antigua in the Caribbean. So Tommy is one of the knuckleheads that's dumb enough to actually do it with me. So I'm going to bring Tommy on. We're going to chat. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Nick, how's it going? Thanks for having me
How's it
on here
going,
again.
fellow moron? We just had a
It's
fun
never
weekend
been
up in
more of an
Wisconsin.
honor to be called a moron for what we're doing.
Well, I mean, there's probably dumber things we can do, but rowing a boat that's 28 feet, 3,000 miles is pretty stupid.
It's inherently stupid and dangerous.
So we
For
had
the
you guys
cops on a
on.
boat.
Yeah, I know, right? We had you guys on in December timeframe, so you guys can go back and watch it. I don't remember what episode it was, but we had the Fight or Die guys on. So the organization that we're rowing for is called Fight or Die. Those guys are amazing. They do mental health first aid, and they also provide scholarships for people that are graduating from Denver U that are working with mental health for veterans. So Tommy, give me a rundown about how we got you involved in this row, and just let me know a little bit what you think about it all.
Well, Warriors Next Adventure kept the 4 of us connected after we all served together at one point or another. And then you had done a podcast with Bryant talking about ocean rowing. I was late to the game even hearing that. Chad had heard it first. And boy, oh boy, did he get all excited about ocean rowing after hearing that podcast.
Right?
Then it
was actually kind of annoying for a
stop
minute.
bothering you about it. What did he ask you? Like once a week for 3 weeks?
Yeah, it was about that. Told him to go screw himself the first 2 times.
Yeah, there was a polite way of telling him no over and over again. But he used your slogan against you. Your own words of wisdom had to finally kick you in the pants. Explore everything. Well, how can you say explore everything, but you won't take a boat out into the middle of the ocean?
Yeah,
so you said yes.
Words, bastard.
You said yes, and then apparently you guys had made a list of okay, who's going to go with, and then my name happened to match up on both lists. So I got a call, and I believe in the same manner politely said no. That doesn't sound like fun, but I do have questions like how big's the boat? What kind of boat? And then from there, everybody just said, okay, that's close enough to a yes. That's a yes. So I said, okay, it's close enough to a yes for me. We're going to row a boat across the ocean.
And then we ended up getting Will shortly after. And, it worked out really nice too, because, what better group of guys to be rowing across the ocean together? Like we've been watching 4 from Home. We watched their whole journey, and we chat. You actually woke me up from a nap today, be like, hey, 4 from Home is going to be on. I'm like, what? And then I went back to the post. So we're working on trying to get those guys on the podcast. They're still trying to get home. Apparently they might still be stuck in Miami. I don't know if they made it home.
Some of them might still be stuck in Miami. I don't know either, but they have not had a good time trying to get home. That's for sure.
No, kind of like you guys, huh?
Yeah, but I wasn't flying 24 straight hours. I had a 45-minute flight.
Well, it works out great because like you see what those guys did, and they were inspired by Fight or Die, which is awesome. They were the first all branch team. So, I mean, if we're not going to include the Coast Guard, the Space Force, but do they really count? Do they? Well, no, they had Army, Air Force, Marine, and Navy veteran on that crew.
Yep. And they crushed it. I mean, how many days did they do that?
They're like 53 or something like that.
Yeah. In there. Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't be more proud of those guys. The funds that they've raised, the community they've built around now ocean rowing, like Americans alone, ocean rowing, they have brought a huge crowd of followers and enthusiasts to it now. It's exciting to watch.
Yeah, they did a fantastic job, and it's great too, because I don't remember the exact number. It was either like $820 or $870,000 that they brought home to charities. I believe Canines for Warriors was one of them. which Andrew from House of Warriors actually got his dog from KNS Warriors. He's heading down there to do some training with his dog here pretty soon. It's pretty sweet.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, dude, it's amazing. But like what I was saying is like what better group of guys to go roll the ocean together than 4 guys who already work for a veteran nonprofit that helps with suicide, prevention, right? And we talked a little bit to Evan the other day, and we all already were on that board, where we're not raising awareness for veteran suicide prevention or like veteran suicide. The awareness is there. But what we're trying to do is what we do with Warriors Next Adventure is show veterans that we can do amazing things after the military, and show them by doing it, being the guys that are in front, leading and taking other people with us. Like we climbed Elbert together back in 2021 or 2020, and then massive in 2021. I keep forgetting it's 2022. I'm all screwed up with my ears. But no, you helped me plan the first one to Elbert, which is great. Because I kind of had like a baseline of what I wanted to do, which kind of how I plan most of my stuff. Like I got a baseline. This is what I want to do. How do we figure it out? And then I bring people on to help me get it figured out. So Chad helps me in New York. You help me in Colorado, and it works really nice. And then Will actually planned out the trip on Superior, the St. Croix River, and I was gonna be in charge of food, and I'm a minimalist, man. Like I'll eat oatmeal every day, like, and just leave it at that. I'll eat some other shit here and there. But he saw the food list that I had. He's like, no. And every single night he had a warm meal brought out to us. I was just like, damn. I'm like, well, Will needs to be involved.
That's planned and executed 100%.
Yeah. Well, it's
Will is very good at that. Will is very good at that.
And a good leader brings on good people to get the job done, and Will's fantastic at it. It was actually on that river row that I asked him to be one of my board members. So it worked out really nice. I think it was shortly after I asked you guys to be my ambassadors. It might have been before. I don't remember.
I don't remember either. It was all around the same time frame. It was all pretty close to each other.
Yeah. Yeah, it worked out nice. And then you guys were bringing a lot of attention to WNA, and then Fight or Die came around, and we're like, you know what? It's really hard for me to wear 2 hats, so I didn't want you guys really have to do that too. So I was like, you know what? You guys just focus on Fight or Die. But you and Will and Chad all still bring a lot of attention to WNA too. So it works out nice.
Yeah. I mean, I just gotta look down and see what shirt I'm wearing on a Wednesday. Fight or Die shirt today. Anybody that asks what that is, that's what we're doing. But you know what? They're all intertwined. There's a lot of organizations out there that you can talk about that all have a very similar mission that they're on. So
yeah,
WNA and Fight or Die, they're almost synonymous, and they're very intertwined now that their entire next team are also members of Warriors Next Adventure.
Yeah.
So
it works out nice
very nicely.
We just have the same goal, I'm sorry about that. We have the same goal, and the goal is to prevent veteran suicide, right? Not raise awareness. We want to stop it, but the big thing is, like what we put in our bio, row your own ocean. Like, what is your ocean? We say it about the mountain climbing all the time. What's the mountain in front of you? And we climb a mountain, a literal mountain, while inside of our heads, going over the mountains inside of us that we're struggling with mental health. We're big about talking about mental health. That's the whole reason why WNA exists. And Fight or Die has a lot of education when it comes towards that stuff. So it actually works out really nice that we do partner together. Even though I called Bryant a absolute crazy person for rowing the ocean, even though now I'm doing it too. But
it doesn't null and void crazy just because somebody did it.
Or stupid. I don't know, whatever we are.
But yeah, in ocean rowing and mountain climbing, there's a lot of similarities when you break those down to their basics. I mean, you make it up. What we did, 14,440 at Elbert, and that's a debated number, but easy math. I don't know how many steps that day was, but you get up and then back down that mountain 1 step at a time.
Yeah.
Sometimes 5 steps and then catch your breath 5 minutes at a time. But 1 step at a time, you get up and down that mountain. And then it's going to be 1 row at a time. You have to go 3,000 miles.
Yeah.
When they say it's like 1.5 million strokes of the oars.
Yeah, something like that. Some
Yeah, but
obnoxious number.
that's not 9 hours. That's like 45 days. So
Yeah, it's a little more intense,
it'll be
but we
brutal.
won't have the elevation kicking our ass. That's nice. We'll be at sea
But
level.
what the adventure that's going to be.
Man, when I watch those videos, like I was watching some of Four From Home's videos the other day, and it just I love seeing those guys smiling so much. Like
Oh, yeah,
that is us. Like we all got together this weekend, and
it was a blast.
we were talking about doing, we were going to be doing bigger things together. You know what I'm saying? And the whole point was just to get familiarized with the boat and tear it all apart. And you're the engineer for the group. So talk a little bit about the boat and some of the things that we discovered and some of the things that we need to figure out before we end up out on the water.
Good news, great news. We have a boat that has already done an ocean crossing.
Twice.
So we know it
Yeah.
works. We know the equipment in there is reliable. It's going to get us to where we need to go. Things that we have to look forward to, or rooms for opportunity, is figuring out better ways for storage. How are we going to get 4 guys and all their stuff, which is going to be a lot when you think about how to package just food alone. Where are you going to put all that in
It
the
was
boat?
somewhere around like 900 meals we're going to need.
Yeah, like just dry packaged meals. I mean, that's not counting our snacks and things like that
Yeah.
we're going to take, but just the dry, like the dehydrated packaged meals was like 600 of those, 900 of those.
Yeah, something insane.
Some crazy amount.
We tried some of those this weekend. What'd you think of the bison mashers?
I would be okay with never having to eat that again.
I'd
I
rather
think
eat a
that
veggie
really is
omelet
a
from an
survival
MRE.
meal. That's a survival meal.
Yeah,
Like
that's a
right
last chance
before
I'm gonna die.
cannibalism. Right before cannibalism, get your calories one way or another, right?
I'd rather eat a veggie omelet MRE. Just saying. That's saying a
Different
lot.
stages of starvation that'll lead you to eat crazy things.
Some of the stuff wasn't bad. Like the chicken Alfredo. I personally like the pesto. I thought it was good.
Yeah. Some of those are planned for like a nice day hike. You're out for 12 hours. You got to keep your calories up. Some of those were planned for, like a Gilligan's Island 3-hour tour that ends up on an island somewhere.
Yeah.
So
yeah, some of those are bad, dude. The biscuits and gravy, man. Take one bite of that, it's just like powder in your mouth. Ugh.
that was not great.
No.
No.
Shout out to Will for getting all that
so
stuff for us, though.
So that was another thing that we realized, that we got a lot more logistics ahead of us that we probably aren't necessarily ready for. Like we don't know everything that we're going to have to pack for this boat. As far as snacks, how much is enough? Sunblock, how much is going to be enough? Just things like that. It's all part of the adventure, though. They say the hardest part is getting to the starting line, because you're not even allowed to show up to the starting line unless you're 100% ready.
Yeah.
So just getting to 100% ready has been amazing. Keeps you busy.
Top of that,
keeps you focused.
we all have like family shit going on too, and
yeah, 100%.
It's just obnoxious, and and then we have to get our families behind us on this too, because like telling your family, "Hey, I'm rowing across the ocean," is kind of hard to do. Kind of hard to explain to them why you want to do it.
Yeah, I can understand how it could be. I have an amazing wife. I told her, okay, Chad called me and asked me to row across the ocean, and you could just see her roll her eyes because she already knew I was rowing the ocean at that point.
Yeah, she's one of my favorite people. I love her. Say hi, by the way. But yeah, and Steph this weekend, she made us a couple meals and she was awesome. I love Steph. They let us crash at their house. So Will's wife, and we took up the kids' rooms, and Chad got stuck on the couch because he was late, bastard.
We're always waiting on somebody.
I always wait on someone. It's usually me, but we'll blame Chad this time. But it was really nice to go just hang out with the boys too, because like the first time we were all together was back in was that August?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it was August.
It's been a while.
Yeah, because I think it was right before we went to Colorado, wasn't it?
Yeah,
somewhere around
it
those.
was
Either
before
way,
October.
yeah. I mean, this was the third time that we've all been together. You know, mm,
We just moved the boat, whenever that was. I don't remember.
yeah, no, because we all got together in Wisconsin to just do meet and greets and stuff like that, and then we all went to New York together, and then we met up
Yeah.
this last week in Wisconsin again. So it was a good time, and then we'll see each other again in April. Do some familiarization on the boat. I'm pretty sure Superior is still going to be frozen. For those who don't know, you need how many hours do you need rowing before you
100.
can do the Talisker?
So the prerequisite for training hours for the Talisker Whiskey Atlantic Challenge is 120 hours of rowing,
24 at
24 of
night,
which
right?
24 of which need to be done at night.
Okay. Yeah,
So
so we're
we have
actually
to
planning on
accomplish that.
doing yeah. We're planning on doing a lot of that on Lake Superior, which actually qualifies because the body water is so large. If you've never seen Lake Superior, look it up on a map. It's the giant one that looks like a mouth, you know. But
The,
we're
the
going up there
biggest
to do
one.
that. What's that?
The biggest one.
Yeah, yeah, it's the giant one in the middle of the country. But we doing a lot of our rowing there. Some of our survival training with Caitlin, who's actually the one who built the boat, the Whoopi from Fight or Die. She's coming up to do some training with us, and I'm pretty excited. Kind of sucks, dude. It's like 2 months I gotta wait to see you guys again.
Yeah, but we make it count.
Yeah,
And then we're going to spend the entire summer together. And then like a couple months off through October and then November once the boat is being shipped.
yeah.
Then we're going to be locked in a 28 by 5 foot confinement with each other for a better part of 6 weeks.
Meh. Can't be
It's
worse
going to
than
be a
some of the
blast.
living situation we've had in Iraq and Afghanistan.
But every time we get together, like we did over this weekend, the boys getting together is always a good time.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Shenanigans
I'm
and business taking place.
well, I make it very clear that I don't really drink anymore. I don't really want to, but every time we get together, it's nice to have a few drinks with you guys, you know, and just bullshit about the military and just the row. We were watching a bunch of stuff on the projector about the Talisker whiskey and like watching Ocean Warrior come in and his third time across the oceans is insane, you know. And
That
then
that is a badass man right there.
dude, he's awesome. I sent him a friend request. I'm trying to chat with him. I'd like to have him on. And then I've been talking to a couple of the British teams that are rowing this year that are veterans as well. And I'm trying to bring all the veteran teams together, which I think would be awesome because I'm sure we're gonna have a good time in Lagomera too.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I'm excited to meet
It's
those
going to
guys.
be a party before Agony that you then throw a party to celebrate getting through.
Oh, exactly. I know. After the row, it seems like everybody just wants to just take a shower and lay in a bed.
Yeah, I think those are going to be the first three things you do. Eat something so you don't go to bed hungry, shower so you don't smell yourself awake, and then sleep for 36 straight hours. That's my
I
goal.
think as like the day we row in, we should all take a little shower before we go. And
I mean, but as best you can, you're still on the boat.
I think that's what the buckets are for, you know, just put some soap in a bucket,
Hygiene
mix
is
it around.
hygiene is paramount. We have
Yeah.
to understand that.
Yeah, we're gonna get a little raunchy. I'm not gonna lie. Like I slept with Chad in a bunk, just me and him in Iraq in 2009, 2010. And we're not afraid to tell each other things, you know, because we had to share, like, we had a tiny little space. We had a rocking chair. We had like a mini fridge, a PlayStation, and a TV. And like we had nowhere to walk. So like if either one of us was like slightly messy, it was such a pain in the butt for the other person too. So we were quite vulgar towards each other quite often, but it was fun.
Sure. No, that's how you build the closest relationships.
No, yeah, for sure.
If I can be as offensive as I want towards you, and we can still come out of it, high-fiving and joking around.
Yeah.
That's camaraderie.
That's what's nice about our team, though, is we all do that. Like we've all gotten in little arguments over the last like couple years, and it doesn't matter because it's over when it's over, right? Because like it doesn't matter what happened either. It's because we all support each other, and we all know that sometimes conversations can get a little carried away, but it doesn't mean that that I don't like you, or it doesn't mean that I don't like Chad or Will. It doesn't mean any of that. All it means is that we just got a little heated and we disagreed, and we don't agree on everything, and I think that's gonna make for an interesting row, because we're gonna have a lot to talk about. We got a couple days to chat.
Just
Hopefully
a
only
few hours a
45 minutes.
day.
Hopefully only
Once those
45 days.
iPods start dying off, we're gonna have
Yeah.
long conversations.
Well, then, in like, Will has a Zune. You remember that?
Yeah,
The Zune. I didn't even know they made those. Like, he's like, yeah, this is from like my first deployment. I'm like, holy crap.
that's pre-touch screen.
I know, right? I tried to touch the screen. He's like, it's not a touch screen. I was like, oh crap, this is from like the 2000s.
And how do I use it?
I know, right? It doesn't work. But no, it's when I stop and think about, like, I've told a few people and I've asked them, we've all kind of had this conversation, but like, name 3 people that you could roll, like, you could spend 45 days with, and that it would be fine. There's not a whole lot of people that I can name.
No,
like,
I really couldn't think of 3 other guys. I can't even. I'm already in my head and popping a flare, crossing the finish line in Antigua, and it's the 4 of us in that boat. So for me to like imagine doing this with anybody else, I really can't do that.
Yeah, that's hard to do. And it's every time we watch those videos, those popping the flares. Like, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, if you go to the Atlantic campaigns on Facebook or whatever, you can watch some of the videos. When you cross the finish line in Antigua, everybody on the boat pops a flare, and it's some of the baddest Instagram photos ever. It's cool watching some of these guys,
because they have like whole film productions out there for the recording of every team that crosses the finish line day or night. They get drone footage, and they got like ski-doos going around the boats and everything. They get some pretty awesome photographs and videos, and I can't wait for ours to be made.
Dude, I can't wait.
They do a great job with those.
That's the only reason why we're doing it. We need a good Instagram photo,
Do it for the gram.
It's pretty intense endeavor just for a photo. I mean, that's why we do the mountain climbs. Take a picture on top of the mountain.
Yeah,
but that's
it. That's why.
It's wild thinking about it though. Like, the fact that this everything all kind of just worked out. Like, we started the nonprofit. Got all you guys involved, and you guys helped me fucking expand a lot. Man, I got to work on that swearing and stuff. That's the first time this episode. 27 minutes. I did a good job. But like, when you stop and think about it, it was like the perfect storm, the way it all worked out, because like, I really do think about it. It's like, I can't think of a group of 4 that gets along so well. Like, yeah, we argue, but like, for the most part, we all get along great. We all have pretty much the same ideas. And when we argue, we throw our points out and we go with the best idea. And there's no real struggle there. And seeing Will open up with all of us a lot more, because he's kind of a little introverted. I mean, he admitted it. He likes his seclusion. But seeing him open up more too, and just I love it. I absolutely love it. And then going out with all you guys and wearing all matching gear and stuff. that snowmobile.
We definitely draw attention to ourselves when we're in public.
Yeah, that's pretty easy. We're
grown men all wearing matching shirts, and we don't belong there. Some of us are clearly out of towners. Yeah. Why are you guys all dressed the same? Well, we're a team. It's 18 degrees below zero in Wisconsin in a bar I've never been in, and I'm trying to explain to somebody that I'm here because I'm prepping a boat to row across the ocean. She's about to get on a snowmobile. Her and I don't think she believed what I was telling her.
No, she even said that. She's like, well, I don't know if you're screwing with me or not, but okay, I believe you.
In my heart of hearts, she didn't believe us.
No, not at all. She had no. She thought we were full of crap. But no, it was fun. Will had some awesome shirts made. Those long sleeve gray ones, those are awesome, dude. Those are going to be great fishing shirts when we're done with the row. Yeah.
You definitely look like we're there for the photo shoot when we show up in those.
Yeah. Well, when we got all the polos. We got 3 different kinds of polos now for our team. And then we're selling some t-shirts, and you guys sold like what, 20 t-shirts just in the last 2
The
days?
amount of support that we were receiving, people wanting to donate to get one of these shirts, it blew my mind. The last, I don't know what, 36 hours that I've had these shirts, the amount of people that have said, I want one, or how do I get one? I can't say thanks enough. It's so humbling that there's so many people out there that know about what we're doing, and they're like, that's totally kick ass. Even though they're like, yeah, you are crazy for doing this. I'll
Yeah.
support you and follow along.
That's pretty
It's
much a
mind-blowing.
guarantee. Everybody who supports is like, you guys are nuts, but okay. You know, yeah, I told my mom, and she just looked at me like, "Oh my god!" And that pretty much was it. You know, my dad just looked at me, was like, "What? What?" He's like, "That's crazy." And pretty much everybody in my family I've told, they're like, "That's not smart. Like, I don't agree with this. It looks dangerous and blah blah blah." And then I send them all the videos. Like, listen, we're not rowing a rowboat across the ocean. Like, this isn't a tiny little rowboat, and we're not just doing it ourselves. This is a professional race. And they're like, you didn't even know how to row. I was like, I've rowed once. Figure it out.
What we're doing is crazy, and it's dangerous, and it's exciting, and it's something most people would not be able to do or even want to try. But the way we're doing it is the safest way to row across an ocean.
Yeah.
Period. Atlantic Campaigns hosts an amazing race. They do a great job ensuring that everybody's as safe as possible with
They've never
required
had a
gear
death.
and boats and inspections and training courses and all that. Dude, there's no way that they, like, if we screw something up, it's totally on us. Like,
Yeah.
you fell asleep in a class or something. Chad took notes in
No.
crayons, and it got so hot the wax melts off the page. You know. But no, the way we're doing something dangerous is the safest way possible to do it. So
Yeah.
I find a lot of comfort in that, and so do a lot of people that I get the chance to explain that to.
Yeah, once they see like that there's rescue boats, there's all kinds of stuff. Like, we have life rafts, we have immersion suits. By the way, the immersion suit try on the other day was hilarious. We're gonna try to get some of that video out, but we all had to put on these immersion suits just to check them out. And Tommy, dude, the the
I
one
told
you
you guys
put
I was
on,
taller than 67 inches, which is what that suit was maxed out at its size rating.
you look like Scuba Steve, man. Like,
Couldn't stand all the way up. It was so tight. I got it on though. I made it happen.
yeah, I when I got mine on, I pulled that zipper up, but I had to keep pulling, and I pulled it up, and it was like a foot above my head, and my head is just inside. And you get these like lobster claw hands because there's only 3 little finger holes, and I'm
Yeah.
just sitting here just doing this, and I can't see, like, it
Yeah.
was obnoxious.
Instantly start sweating. The inside
Oh
of that
yeah,
suit jumps up quick. And we're all
yeah,
hysterically laughing at each other because we all look stupid. So
I know,
that
right?
didn't help.
Well, let's hope we never have to put those on. Um, sounds like we have to do
Yeah.
it for training, and we're
We have
gonna
to
have to
do it for
jump in the
training.
lake.
You put them on, you deploy the life raft, you put those suits on, get in the life raft, just to show how hard it is to get into a life raft while wearing one of those ridiculous suits.
Good times.
But
Should be fun.
if you can do it, you pass training, get out of the water, you're done.
We're probably going to be doing that in the middle of a lake in April in Wisconsin. So it's going to be cold.
You know what? Test it to its fullest abilities, I guess.
I guess. Well, let's knock it out. I guess we got to test the water. I
We
mean,
should
people
try
do
to
the
find a
polo plunge and everything.
YMCA with an indoor pool.
That's what I was saying. But I was told, no, that's stupid. We live in a land with a bunch of lakes. Like, yeah, but it's April. It's going to be cold.
We'll check local water temperatures before we make any final decisions.
You know, I mean, people do the polo plunge and stuff. Like, it's not like it's going to be that big of a deal. Plus, those emergency suits are super warm.
That I can now attest to. That is very true.
Yeah, it should be fun.
They're made
Yeah,
for that, I guess.
we got training in April. We'll have Evan Stratton. Is it Stratton? Right?
Yeah.
I said that right. Stratton? Okay.
Mhm.
I just had a brain fart while I was saying it. I was like, is it Strat or Stratton? We'll have Evan, who's the president of Fight or Die, and Caitlin, who is the one who built the boat that we're rowing. They're coming in April to Wisconsin. We're all going to come back and meet up. and we're going to be doing some safety training with the immersion suits and everything. We're going to be going over the checklist. We organized all the bins. You guys would be shocked with how much stuff is got to go on that boat, and we don't even have our food. Like what else do we need, really? We got the food, like 900 bags of food.
But we don't
We
have
need,
that yet, so we haven't even been able to visualize what that looks like.
I can't imagine.
So you
There's
still have
no
your
way we
life
can.
jackets, you have the harnesses, you have oars, spare oars. I mean, the boat's going to be completely packed. Sleeping's not going to be comfortable or even feasible the first, I don't know, 20 days until you've eaten a bunch of that food and you got stuff out of the way.
Is that what we're thinking
But
about doing? Putting a bunch of it in the cabins?
that's what I would do. It's not all going to fit in those deck bins.
Slowly get more and more comfortable.
But I don't
So
know.
in the back one, in the bow of the boat. Wait, no, that's the aft, right? Man, I suck at these terms. In the aft of the boat,
Four
in the
Air
back.
Force guys get in a boat.
I know, right? Starburst. Wait,
Go
what?
that way.
Well, like in the back of the boat, like we were all working on stuff, and Will had to go into town, and I told him, I was like, "Yeah, when you go into town, I'm gonna take a nap." So I was in the back, and I ended up laying down, and we had the mats down, dude. And I was out. I was out for like an hour and a half, wasn't I? I
Those
think I'm gonna
those
sleep.
beds, the little mattress pads in there are surprisingly comfortable for
Yeah,
what they are
I'm
and
gonna
how they're
sleep like
positioned.
dude. I'm gonna sleep like a baby getting rocked out on the ocean in those things. Because I've been on water my whole life. I've slept on water many, many times, and it rocks me right to sleep. I cannot wait to get out in the water and sleep well.
It will
But
be for no more than 2 hours at a time. Keep that in mind.
shut up, Tommy. We don't need to hear that
For
negativity. Okay.
45 days. No, that's not negative. I mean, sleep deprivation while being rocked sideways nonstop. That's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
going to be a totally
Whee!
new experience.
Super excited about that. No, it's the cool thing is though, those pads were sliding all the way down. So we could probably fit a bunch of stuff like that we're not really going to use. Hopefully the immersion suits. Hopefully don't need those. Or like the go bags. We can actually tuck those down and push the matting up, because the matting was like probably a foot and a half slid down from the back. So that actually gives us a lot more packing room.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we know we have a huge long laundry list of getting items ordered, getting them on hand, and then figuring out that giant puzzle piece of the 10,000 pieces you have to put together in a tiny little boat.
Yeah.
And still make it home for a month and a half,
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I
so
mean,
much fun. I love it. I really do.
dude,
Just the fact that it's something to always think about. You can always think you're bored and your mind starts wandering to something maybe negative, or you just need something to change your mind. Just start thinking about, how are suction cups going to stick to carbon fiber?
yeah.
Oh, wait, they don't. You just start thinking about anything on this trip, and then your mind starts wandering to that entire adventure. So this whole thing, it really is exciting. There's scary parts of it for sure. There's frustrating parts 100% along the way, but it really is a positive thing all the way around.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not, we all went around. We did that podcast the other day, and we had one of the microphones wasn't working. But we didn't realize it until after the recording. So we're not going to be able to release it, which sucks, but probably not a terrible thing.
That podcast never happened.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Because if you guys did a podcast without me, please don't release it. I'll feel so left out.
Yeah, so we got a little tipsy. We had a fun pod. That was fun though. It was a lot of fun. We're gonna have to do it again, and
I wish I was there.
The inside jokes that came from this weekend. Well, we'll do it bigger and better next time. So, man, I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, we were doing the podcast and we were sitting here talking about You're like, what are the things that you're most excited about? And then what are the things that you're most nervous about? So like, what if you had to narrow it down to one thing? What is the thing you're most excited about to be in a boat with 4 dudes for 45 days?
We haven't been able to get together for any amount of time and not have something to talk about. Just the four of us click.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can make the joke, we're doing it for the gram. Or somebody tried to tell me when I was making the decision whether I was going to do it or not. They're like, think of the story. I think Will said that. Do it for the story, man.
Yeah.
Well, the moment I said yes, the story started then. And I think that's what I'm excited about. The stories that we're going to be able to tell after this. We're going to have vivid, detailed memories of a lot of it. Like day in and day out on that boat. It's just, that's what I'm excited for. And how much we're going to document it. We're going to record 99.9% of this if we have it our way, you know.
Dude,
So
we're talking about bringing like a terabyte worth of cards, if not two, just so we have enough footage, because we're gonna have we all have GoPros, so 4 GoPros, and then we're gonna try to do a diary cam too, so we can actually share all that. Everybody knows that I'm writing a book, the 6 Principles, a warrior's path to inner peace, and my goal is to get that book released before we go. And I actually want to read it while we're out, because I don't ever look at my own stuff like ever. But that book is actually really good for anybody who's going through anything. But my goal is to actually write a book about this row when we get back, and I think it'd be really cool, because then that way, we can tell all the goofy stories and stuff. Like, we can do our best to get together and write everything down, like, know that book that Will's dad got us all these really cool leather bound journals.
They're beautiful.
Yeah, I got it right here. I've actually been writing. So the day that we got these, I actually started writing. And as everybody knows, that we started this row, and I don't remember who said it, was either you or Chad, but like everything started going wrong, like with like family lives and like everything. And like I got fucking cancer, and I wrote about that in my journal. And it's like, there, like with Evan asking about like, hey, you guys gonna get an alternate? And you and Chad and Will just like, no, we're rowing this ocean with Nick. And
just in the last couple months, I mean, we've been preparing for this for many months now.
Yeah.
But just in the last, let's give it 6 months, we've all been given a few reasons to say, okay, maybe I shouldn't do this.
Yeah.
Or given one reason maybe to say, I shouldn't do this. I'm staying home. But we all have so many reasons to say, no, screw that. I'm going. I'm doing this. The pros outweigh the cons. I'm rowing this ocean.
100%. Yeah, 100%. And then we all have the good support too. Like, all of our significant others are super supportive of this. Even though it might be annoying and take up time, and it's kind of nuts. It's nice to get support from the people that matter. You know what I'm saying?
And even the people that maybe you've never even heard of, the people that have heard about us, who are inspired by what we're doing. And that's a thought I like to have. We're going to be laying in that boat in the middle of the night, really missing home at some point while we're on that boat. And some random person that you've talked to or has mentioned what we're doing is going to pop into your mind. And you're like, well, I can't quit. I'll let them down too. And there's so many of those people out there that are thinking about what we're doing.
Yeah.
That's just so inspiring to there are so many reasons to get on that boat that the few reasons to stay home really don't weigh that much.
No. Well, then to top that off, we're all making friends with people that are rowing this year, and then people that have just finished rowing. Like I talked to Jason Walken. He's on the British team, the Orday, and they're a bunch of combat veterans. So I was actually talking to Jason about having him on the show and to get a British veterans perspective. And it sounds like the same struggles are going on with those guys.
Yeah.
But they're rowing too, so we're going to meet them in La Gomera. I can't wait to meet those guys.
And it's exciting to meet all these. Like, it's people from all around the world that take part in this race.
Yeah.
So
this is an international stage. Like, this is amazing. The fact that we even get the opportunity to do this it's awesome. Like, you get people from all around the world watching this thing. Like, 4 from Home's following for this year was phenomenal. Like, they had
Yeah.
so many people involved, and like I said, we need to start a group too, so people can get involved and share and talk in the group too. I think that would be great. So I'm gonna probably knock that out this week.
Yeah, like we've said, our mission is we understand that the awareness is there. There are enough people that are on board. Okay, this is an issue. The awareness is there. So now what do we do? So that's why we're doing what we're doing. So the more people that know what we're doing, why we're doing it, that's how you make a change. That's how you change the world. That's how you make a difference in what's going on. You asked me why I want to do this and what I'm most excited for. To document what we're doing and then be able to show that and actually change the world. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing.
No.
Because if it wasn't for those two things, like if I were trying to save like an endangered fruit growing in a rainforest or something, there's nothing that close to me like that. But 22 veterans a day taking their own lives that's unacceptable, and I have to do something about that. And it's good for me to get up and go do something. Let me be that guy that can be like, you know what? If I can get up off my ass and go row the ocean, so can you.
Yeah.
All it takes is getting up and then start doing something.
Well, like our quote too, it's, we're all rowing our personal oceans. What is yours? And how can you overcome it? What we do with Warriors Next Adventure with me, you, Chad, and Will is helping people find purpose again by taking them to go do amazing things, but also doing amazing things and showing people, hey, listen, you can do this too. There's too many people out there that make excuses, and it's like, well, I can't, will this, will that, will blah, 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 blah. All here's excuses. We all have things going on in our life, right? But not enough people take time for you. The sixth principle in my 6 principles in the book that I'm writing is love yourself. We need to all relearn how to love ourselves, right? And that not only comes to like nutrition, it comes to fitness, it comes to, just taking a break, right? But also doing some things on your bucket list that you've always wanted to do, right? There's so many people out there that have, bucket lists that are full when they die. And I'm terrified of having a full bucket list when I die. I don't want that, and I've had people say, well, you have kids. I'm like, okay. When I tell my daughter the amazing things that I get to do, she just goes, whoa. When I like to ask a lot of people, when's the last time you told your kids something that you're doing and they went, whoa, and look at you like a friggin' superhero? Like,
right.
My daughter knows that, we try to spend as much time together as possible when I'm here. I have them usually 5 days a week, so I spend a lot of time with my kids. But I do make time for myself. I make sure that I go off and I do adventurous things because, the reason why Warriors Next Adventure was created was because when veterans get out of the military, we need something. We need something, right? And if we sit at home and we dedicate our lives to other people, what we're doing is we're slowly dying inside. We need to dedicate something to ourselves too. Every single person listening to this, veteran or not, when is the last time that you dedicated time for yourself, right? Go on a trip for yourself, go on an adventure for yourself, anything that you've done. When is the last time you've done something for you? That's the important part. We need to focus on ourselves a little bit more. And this is for us, right? This is for all of us. We are all, the 4 of us are rowing our own personal ocean, but at the same time, we're doing it for a cause, right? And not only for Warriors Next Adventure, but for Fight or Die. The fact that they gave us their boat to row and, they're doing a lot of suicide prevention stuff. We just, like you said, we just work together very well. This is our time to stand up and be a big voice and say, hey, listen, we did this. You can do it too.
Yeah.
That's why.
I didn't believe I could climb a 14,000 foot mountain first try. Never climbed a mountain. Let's go take out the tallest one in the Rockies.
I know, right?
Send it. Let's go. I did it. I didn't think I would be able to do that. And then I did another one the next year. It was only like 7 feet shorter.
Yeah.
But the trail was twice as long. But you have to push yourself. You have to remove all doubt, and you have to trust yourself like you did when you were 18 years old. You're in the military, and you're like, this is stupid, but here I go. Well, you know what? Life's not over after the military. I might be in my 30s now. I might be twice the age almost that I was when I enlisted. But you know what?
That's
I can still go do these
weird to think about.
badass, amazing things that people can be inspired by.
Yeah.
You know, people
And you're
think
never
they're
too old to start it either.
service members every day. Thank you for your service. People say that most of the time because they're anticipating you did something badass when you were at a very, early stage in your life, right out of high school. You know what? I'm gonna go row an ocean in my 30s. That's still pretty awesome.
I'd say
I
it's
don't need
more
people
badass
thanking
than
me
anything I
for
did in
it.
the military.
I just want people to know that I did it. I'm gonna be a little selfish about this one.
Well, hey, and you should. There's nothing wrong with that, right? I wrote a friggin' ocean. That's amazing, right?
Oh,
I
I don't
always
feel
tell
guilty
people,
about taking credit for this.
no, you shouldn't, and I think of people all the time. I'm not gonna say who, but they reached out to me like, I don't know how you live your life the way you do. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, you quit your safe job at the state patrol. I was a 911 dispatcher, making great money, about 55,000 a year. It's not bad. Um, and I left all that because I wanted to dive into Warriors Next Adventure, and I wanted to spend my time helping veterans rather than making a paycheck for an organization that didn't really support me. Um, they would replace me, in which they did. They replaced me in a month. You know, every single job that you have, you are replaceable, right? The only thing that you cannot replace is your time. And I realized that, after my second chance back in 2015, it's like, I'm going to utilize as much as my time, as I can. After my little second chance thing, I became, an MMA fighter. I became a champion. I did all kinds of stuff. I've had well over 100 matches in jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, or whatever. I did all that awesome manly stuff that I've always wanted to do, and I could never think of why wasn't I doing this before. And WNA is really it's built off of my experience in finally living for myself. Um, but doing things for other people too. Just because you do things for yourself doesn't mean that you're selfish. Self-care is not selfish. And I want to show other people that.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try
Yeah.
to word it better than that. Well done.
Well, we got about 2 minutes left here, so it was great hanging out with you this weekend, man. I always miss you guys so much when you guys leave, and dropping you off at the airport really sucked. I kind of wanted you to miss your flight so you could stay hang out, but
Well, if I had missed that flight, I probably would have remembered to pack everything that I left in your truck. Wouldn't send you to the post office to mail me my own stuff.
I'll send it in a box.
But
It's all good. I'll see you guys in
but
April.
getting home to 60-degree weather was pretty nice today. I'm not gonna lie. Or
Well, hey,
yesterday.
it was 42 today, man. Nice and warm up here in Minnesota.
Still got your beat. Omaha's pretty nice right now. It's a fluke.
All right. Well, I'm gonna drop you off. Don't go anywhere. But yeah, it's I'm gonna have Will and Chad on here sometime in the next month or so. I'd like to circle you guys out. It's always nice to talk to everybody, but it's nice to have a one-on-one as well, so we can kind of get your personal perspective about why you are so idiotic to row an ocean.
And I always appreciate the opportunity to explain how I got to be as crazy as I am and do these things.
Yeah.
So thanks.
Yeah, thanks for chatting, man. I don't go anywhere. I'm gonna drop you off real quick. Thank you guys for listening to Veterans Action Report. It's always fun to have other veterans on who, not only that I serve with, but they're my friends too. So I always feel a lot more comfortable chatting to them rather than to certain guests, just because we haven't ever met each other. And so I try to do my best no matter what. And personally, I've loved every interview that we've done. I'm a little biased considering I'm the one doing the interviews. But if you know of a veteran who would be good to have on the podcast, send them our way. Tell them about our info. Thanks again. I just want to say, go check out warriorsnextadventure.com. Go check out housesforwarriors.com. Go check out fightordie.com. Those guys are awesome. They're the ones that we're going to be rowing across the ocean. Check out the Talisker Whiskey Atlantic Challenge. You can kind of see a little bit of what we're about to do. Have a good day, guys.
Perfect.